Now I gotta play some magic tricks and get all of this, that tarp and the stuff out front, into the box and trailer, plus the mower. So yeah, here we go with that.
The footage you are about to see was found in a dark corner, in the recesses of a computer, on a man's desk. It was edited and put on YouTube for your approval. Blah blah blah, government conspiracy. Enjoy.
I got a decent little cleanup here today. I'm going to cut that stump out. We got this sycamore tree growing. I'm going to cut these trees out. Keep the nandinas, keep the bushes. Cut this tree out. Looks like it might be some kind of walnut pecan. But that big one's a mulberry there. See? Mulberry. On this fruit tree right here, this fruit tree we've got, that's dead, this one's dead, that one's dead, this one's dead, only the far side's good. So I'm going to cut those at the base about, I don't know, 7 inches up. Mulberry and privet, holly stays. Okay. Then all of this, I'm not hauling off the shelf, but all this is going out. All the mulberry tree and stuff. Sizable job. Then got all this debris. We've got all the suckers and the privet, and everything's coming out of here. So decent sizable job. So all the leaves will get mulched up on the next visit later this week, but it should be pretty decent. Uh-oh. If you know, what do you know here? That thing's got a fungus of some kind. This is a peach tree. If you know what's going on, tell me. I want to know. The more you know, the better year it sells. That's all sales is. It's just being competent and knowing what you're doing. So with this job, I cut down the tree in the front yard a few weeks ago, and I cut the tree down for $75. And then when we're talking about this back here, he said, "Okay, well that's in the $75, isn't it?" No. This is a whole nother ball game. So told him an hourly rate covers the dump fee. That's how it works. I said, but this isn't there. And he said, well, now you're backpedaling. That's somebody trying to get one up on you, and if I'd have been soft, it would have happened. You just tell them, hey, nope, this is how it works. Sorry for the miscommunication. I'm sorry you heard me wrong. That's not at all what it is. So I'm confident he didn't hear me wrong. He just thought that I would buckle under the pressure. And people will do that. People will try to get one up on you. So hold your ground. You know what you're worth. I could be out here working all day for free, and that's not going to happen. I will say, a few years ago, I would have said, okay.
What's up? So this is an old video that I found. It was unlisted, and I wanted to go ahead and share it to you guys. So there's two versions of this. One is the way that I edited videos before, and I like that as well, where it's got a lot of music and there's some talking in the middle. By the way, you can't hear the talking that's going to come up later in this video in the middle because there's music over it. So I wanted to go ahead and just talk about some of the things I'm doing in the job. It's kind of a fun little one to see. But like I said, it was unlisted. I'm not quite sure why. I have a few videos that are unlisted, so it is what it is. I'm coming through and cutting down some stumps and trees and some miscellaneous debris. This was an old Japanese maple that was in front of their house, and it was kind of diseased and dying. So at this time, I'd been cutting his lawn for like 3 or 4 years. 2 years later, still cutting his lawn. It's a pretty basic little easy $50 lawn for me. But there are a lot of odd obstacles in the back that you'll see. Kind of like this weird little fence and some stuff that just needs cleaned up. The thing to keep in mind is sometimes people don't really have the budget for that stuff. Things get overgrown over a period of time. And that's just the way of life. People get busy, or somebody gets sick, things happen. And privet bushes and little sucker trees and stuff like that grow up like crazy. And then there's a bunch of lawn guys like me going around and cleaning up. And, in my city, I've seen it, man. We're like cockroaches cleaning up the storms and everything else. And it just is what it is. We've got to run around and do our job. That way everything stays looking good. People don't really value people in the lawn care, landscape, and tree industry, in my opinion, until the big storms happen and stuff like that. I mean, some people do, but to me, that's like when it shines out that people are like, oh yeah, that's not kid work anymore. Yeah, you can do this. But I think it's real common for people to look at it like it's less than. Like, I got a comment because I talked about political beliefs in one of my other videos, and they said stick to lawns. I know what you're trying to say there. So here I'm talking about the tree and this and that and whatever. You can watch the other video if you want to hear what I'm talking about there. But I'm showing the mess. But back to what I was saying. They threw it out, and I just know it's like a less than thing. And that's cool. It is what it is. And then I had another guy today saying, I see you left 3 stumps for a real landscaper to come in and clean up. Yeah, that's cool, man. Whatever. I just let him know, hey, you'll calm down after your first year in the business. I don't know how long he's been in it, but I'm assuming not very long. Because the people that I've met that have been in it for a long time, they know there's an abundance of work. And so that person's coming from a scarcity mindset, because he was talking in his comment and said, there's already enough part-timers out here. Look, dude, I can go out and do jobs like this, the crazy little cleanups, all day long, and it's not going to affect anybody. 100 other guys can start up tomorrow, and it's not going to affect my business. You want to know how I know? It happens every year. I've done this so many years in a row, man. There's so much work out there. I'm barely tapping into the market that I'm in. So, if you're wanting to start a business of any kind, if there's a market for it, whether it's cleaning or doing lawn and landscape stuff, or washing cars, or painting houses, or doing concrete work or masonry work, there's an abundance of work out there. There's always more work out there to be had. But one of the things you need to understand is that if you are new in business, or you're planning on getting into business, or you want to get into business, I think it's easy to watch these videos and go, it's going to be super easy. I'm just going to have to go out and buy this piece of equipment, that piece of equipment, and I'm ready to go. I'm just going to conquer the world. I thought that same way. I'm like, I'm going to conquer Tulsa. It was not as easy as I had anticipated, because you have to go through your mental struggles. Everybody has mental battles that they're going with. Your insecurities and your little burden to bear, your things that you have to overcome in your life. Just like I was talking about in the beginning of this video, a couple of years ago, I would have buckled under the pressure, and I would have probably done this massive job at little to no income. And I mean, even looking back, he got an awesome deal on this cleanup and still had an issue with the price. But my lack of understanding on what I should charge and the numbers behind it that actually give me the confidence in doing so, because I had the lack of knowledge in my business, all that comes into play. You're going to learn lessons every year. And everything seems so overwhelming in the moment until you've gone through it a few times. Then you get numb to it, and it's not as difficult. I love doing this. This is my favorite time of the year. Not this time, but when I'm cleaning up leaves, I just love to do that. But anyways, what I wanted to say is that if you want to be in business for yourself, there's going to be times where it's difficult, where you're going to have equipment breakdown or a vehicle breakdown, or you're going to have to miss family events that you want to be at. you're not going to want to answer the phone call sometimes. And you're going to have to deal with battling procrastination and things. You just have to weigh out what is priority. And it sounds so simple when you're not actually in it. When you're not actually doing it. It sounds simple and easy. And the truth is that maybe you have a payroll job and you've experienced it where you have a day where you just don't want to go in. You don't have that option as being an owner. You got to work. If you got somebody that's expecting you to be somewhere, then you have to hold to your schedule. You have to let them know, hey, we're going to be here. And because if you put one client behind, and you can get away with it in the beginning because you barely have a business anyways in the very beginning. It's a progression of learning in that moment, but you can get away with it at first because you don't have a whole lot going on. But after you get some clientele built up, then you see the real side effects of your procrastination and holding off and not doing things the way you should. But you can have the same effect if you're not in business. Just throwing it out, man. You want to grow in your career? Show up. Do the work. Just put your head down, and not to offend you, but put your head down, shut up and grind through it, and just go to work. And try to smile. Try to be positive. Don't feel bad about working. It's a good thing. There's a book that I read several years ago now called Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude. I would highly suggest that. It's definitely something you want to keep in mind to always, you have to better yourself. Your existence in life, your work, your environment, your material possessions, your spiritual relationship with God, none of that is going to get better unless you improve upon yourself. I've read the Bible multiple times now, and a major topic is being a better person to make the world around you better. And let's just be honest, that is a daily struggle. There's times that I say and do things that I'm not proud of. I'm sure you feel the same way. Every day we're put in new positions and we're tested so that we can humble ourselves and improve upon ourselves and be a better person.
That's it. Sweet. Alright. I've got to dump all this before I can start the day. And back here, got all this debris in there. And hidden in there on the other side is my mower. Kind of is what it is. I hate to start the day at the dump because this stuff just wears you out, man. It's a lot. It's a lot. So that's how it goes sometimes. I didn't make it on time. That's alright. So it waylays the day a little bit, and then I'm off to go through my mowing list. Not very exciting. You think about the lawn care lifestyle, it's pretty much the same thing over and over.